So good afternoon, or good morning. Hoping everyone is doing well. Figured I'd go ahead and shoot my next one today. Um, Thank you for everyone who continue to donate to the GoFundMe and who continue to subscribe to my channels. Wouldn't say I've been thinking a lot about how you all are my heroes, and didn't know the definition of a hero until those who cared enough to stop and comment, and instead of just viewing it and just keep on moving. And I know everyone has issues. I know that there's a lot of pain out there in the world, and a lot of people has a YouTube or whatnot. But those who actually cared enough to stop and comment and or like the page or donate to the GoFundMe, a lot of amazing things has happened since I've started the YouTube channel. A lot of things I would have never thought would have came out of this, but that makes me think too about how last night I laid and I wondered what I was going to talk about today, and I kept thinking about how scripted some things are, and I was trying to plan on what I was going to say today and how I was going to say it, and realizing that I can't be scripted, I can't be edited. I have to be me, and I have to just be raw, if that's what you want to call it, raw. But I thought too a lot about a lot of people say be strong, and I thought about how it is through my weaknesses, and it's through that moment of uncertainty and that moment of pain and hurt that I begin to realize my strength. And sometimes it's good to be in that place. Sometimes it's good to be in a place where there's nothing but pain, and you don't know anything but that pain. It is through my weaknesses a lot of times that I'm made strong, or I'm made to realize who I am. Realizing that every day can't be beautiful, every day can't be a rainbow. And it's through my PRS that, again, that I reached out through that, and through my pain and people being cruel to me, and decided to do the YouTube video and the channel, and it's taken off in perfect perfections. It's been a blessing. Again, I want to say thank you to Pancake, because Pancake has been awesome in this whole thing. He's the beginning of the hero thing. He's going to always be the hero. He started the whole sending it around and getting it noticed. And so Pancake, to you, I want to say thank you. I want to say, you're an extraordinary human being. But it's through that weakness that he saw me in my rawest, and he said that I need to help another individual. And he reached out, and he became that person who propelled all this forward and made all these wonderful things happen to me in my life. Things I never thought was possible, that I thought I was deserving of. Today I'm going to try not to get emotional. I'm going to try not to be that emotional. So right now an update is I've got 700, last time I checked, it was $774 in the GoFundMe. Another update to that is that I found out that they're doing all kinds of new research with surgery as far as the Perry Rumberg is concerned. The last time I had surgery, they had to go in and do an invasive surgery in my back and cut out a big chunk of fat out of my back and make it and suture it into my face here, and that's why I have all the excess here. He was telling me that he wanted to make sure that the fat would not dissolve in my face, so then he sutured enough in there, a big flap of fat, to make sure that it would not dissolve. So when he went back and did the surgery, he would just have to take out the excess and fill this in. But I found out that through a site that's donated to that's for Perry Rumberg syndrome support, others who actually have it, found out that they're now doing, I think they called it STEM research, and where they go into your body and they take out for what do you call the word, I forgot. They go in and they take out your stem cells and your fat cells, your stem cells, and they try to put them in your face so they can start producing blood in that area and start filling your face back in. still doing more research into finding out that, and maybe that's very hopeful, so they don't have to go in and do that whole um, invasive surgery like they did for me. They cut my back open, and God knows it hurt like crazy. But so to talk about our topic today, we want to talk about how it is through my weaknesses that I have been made strong. And a lot of people say be strong and whatnot, and sometimes you have to feel weak before you can feel strong. Sometimes you have to get to that low point before you can actually reach the high point, because it's in the low points and in your weaknesses that you begin to think and you begin to process and you begin to put together plans and stuff, because you don't like being in that spot. You don't like being uncomfortable. You don't like to be at the lowest of your low. And so then you begin to make plans. You begin to say, okay, then this is what I should do. It's only during that time is when the true you comes out, is whenever you realize that I need to do more, or I need to do something. And for me, that something was reaching out through YouTube and not letting my immediate surroundings dictate who I am. So then it's through my weaknesses that I'm made strong, which hence the name Imperfect Perfections. So then I want to thank everyone for saying be strong. Kind of makes me think about when my fiance passed away, and how when he passed away, a lot of society is built in a way where they have certain responses to stuff. So when there's a death that occurs in the family, the response is usually he's in a better place, or he knows that you loved him before he died, or he's not in pain anymore. Just certain responses that people are programmed to give at that time. And it was only through his death and people walking up to me that I realized that sometimes that's not what people want to hear, because they miss that person, because they love that person. I think the thing that helped me the most through his death was when I heard someone tell me the truth. And the truth was that you're going to hurt like hell, and you're going to go through days where you're going to not want to be here. But they began to talk to me about the process that I would go through. They begin to tell me that there's going to be days when you're not going to be strong. There's going to be days when you're going to hurt like hell. There's going to be days whenever you're going to go do something, you're going to think about him, and you're going to miss because he's not there. You're going to go through that. But then you need to go through that in order to get through it. The only way through something is to go through it. Sometimes we try to avoid things, and we try to get busy, or so we don't think about it, or we try to put other things in our way so we don't think about what's going on. But in all we're doing is just avoiding it, and we're just burying whatever's inside of us. And just because we bury it and we don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it's not there. It means that eventually we're going to have to be faced with it. Something could happen in our life that, guess what? Then it resurfaces again, and then because I didn't deal with it when I should have dealt with it, guess what happens? Now I have to deal with it, and it's probably 10 times worse than what it was instead of dealing with it when it happened. But that's what humans do. That's what society does. Society say, well, just get over it, or cover it up, or make yourself busy so that you don't think about it. And to me, I think dealing with it at that moment, and no matter what it takes, if it feels like it takes you to hell, and you go through hell to get better, then I think it's necessary that happens. Because eventually, I know, like everyone keeps telling me, you will come through and everything will be okay. But the only way it's going to be okay is if we go through whatever it is that's unpleasant in our life. A lot of things is not pleasant, and sometimes it hurts like hell. Dealing with that death and dealing with my Perry-Romberg syndrome on a daily basis, it's been hell for me. And there's nothing I realized talking about being weak. I realized at the moment when my fiance took his last breath, I realized how powerless I was. I could do anything in the world. I can win $1 million, or I could run a million miles or whatever, but there was nothing I could do to breathe life back in his body and bring him back. And God knows, in my relationship with him, I was there every step of the way, and everything he needed, I tried to provide it for him. Tried to be that person that no, he didn't really have to think about anything or worry about anything. I tried to worry for him so that he didn't have to worry. But then in that moment, I couldn't do anything. I could get 3 paychecks, and guess what? Those paychecks would not bring him back. I couldn't pay his life back into existence. I couldn't. And I realized how powerless I was at that moment. I just realized that was out of my control. It was beyond my control. So just like being weak and being weak sometimes is the best thing in the world, in as much as it hurts. And I know that sounds crazy. I know to a lot of people, you probably shrug your shoulders and say, I don't know what he's talking about. But I realized that through all the comments about be strong and whatnot, and I try to be everything I can. Try to smile and get up every morning and keep walking and keep going and whatnot. But guess what? It's still on the inside. It hurts like hell, and though it don't show on the outside, it's still there on the inside. But it's through those moments that I begin to think and I begin to make plans to get better. Because if I pretend like things are always better, then I'm not working on it. I'm just ignoring it and I'm avoiding it. There's a lot of things in our lives that sometimes we try to put other things before us so we don't have to think about it, or we get busy and we don't think about it. Makes me think about a course when I was in school. They talked about people and their toys, and they talked about how people go through life getting busy, getting involved in charities and always helping out others, or always doing this and always doing that, always going here and doing and going there. And the only reason why they do that is because the moment that you sit down and you're by yourself and you're faced with you realize all the things that you haven't accomplished, and you realize all the things that you haven't done that you wish you'd done, and you realize who you were, and it makes you sad. Because there's a lot of things that we want to do that we haven't done. A lot of goals that we set out to achieve and we haven't achieved it. But we make ourselves busy so that we don't have to think about that. Because we'll be faced with us, It's a sad place to be. And ever since I took that course and I read that, I think a lot about my life, and I think about how I've always tried to put myself in front of things and put myself in front of people and tried to get involved in this and get involved with that, because I tried to run from me. And being in other people's space and helping them was a way to escape who I am and not think about my Perry-Romberg syndrome, not think about how people react to me and stuff like that when they see my Perry-Romberg syndrome. Sometimes we try to make ourselves so busy so that, guess what? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm crying, I'm sorry. I challenge myself to, when I get in those places of weakness and those places where it's uncomfortable, to stay there until I get through. But I want to thank each and every one of you as well, because it's in that place that you found me. It's in that place of weakness, that place of vulnerability, that place of hopelessness is where I met every one of you. And I want to thank every one of y'all for that. I want to thank you for sitting with me in my lonely hour and my dark hour. I want to thank every one of you. I felt comforted, and I felt loved, and I felt like I was there and I was present, because every one of y'all came to me. Again, because I try to keep these videos about 15 minutes long, so I don't tie your time up. I'll be doing another video probably in a couple of days. Just wanted to let you know that I didn't want to be scripted on this video. I didn't want to be planned on this video. I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be real life, and wanted to let you know where I was, and check in on each and every one of you. It is through my weakness that you have each and every one of you made me stand tall. Believe it or not, the strongest I ever felt was because when I fell on my knees, feeling like I wanted to give up. You help me to stand tall. And so I want to thank each and every one of you, and I'm going to get out of here before I start crying again, and I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'll be checking in with y'all again in a couple of days. Love each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being there. And looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.